Morning, everyone. Had a comment from a viewer the other day. Wanted to know about my Y loaders that I built. Asked me to go a little more in depth on them. So this video is to address that for him, so that he can maybe use my design to build some for his big dummy. So I want to start with the pin. This is the pin that I created. And what this pin is, if you look at it, that little stud right there sticking up, this used to be in the shape of an L. Okay, this part right here. This is a pin that you would put like in a bookcase. You would push this pin in there, and then this came out in the shape of an L, and it would hold the shelf when you put it in there. This is a Velcro strap, reusable strap that you would use for computer cables, and all I did was put it in the center of that and folded it over. That keeps me from losing the strap, and it secures the pin in so it can't fall out when I'm riding. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. But here's the actual Y loader. This top piece is 30 inches long. Hold on. Right there. It's 30 inches. And it is 6 inches wide. They used to be 10 inches wide, but for my use, it only needs to be 6 inches wide. And what this is, you can see, is 1/2-inch pressure treated ply. And I've had these for 3 years, and there has been no cracking or splitting or anything to the wood. But I did paint it with just spray paint. It was spray paint with primer, Krylon. Now the arms for the deck, this is 1/2-inch black pipe is what that is. And this piece is approximately 10.5 inches, and that piece is about 10 3/8. The rear piece will be a little longer if you want your Y loaders to sit with the same gap all the way down the side of the big dummy. And all I did was countersink. I got some screws and countersunk them into the 1/2-inch plywood, and then used a washer and a locking nylon lock nut on the bottom, and then cut the bolts off. That's how they're all put together. When they were 10 inches, the wood went back to here, and there was another piece of this pipe with another hole in it for the other bolt, because there was 3 bolts in the 10-inch piece. But when I reduced the size of them, I cut the front of the pipe off where the other hole was. So that's the material that I've used. And now we'll move over here, and I will get into more detail about how I actually built them. Let me make sure everything's in the camera view here. Need to bring the camera down a little bit. Yeah. All right, hold on a second here. Bring the camera down. Okay. Let's make sure we got the right angle on that. Turn it over this way a little more. That looks pretty good. Alright, so let me slide this back in there. There we go. Okay, so the way I originally built these was I took a piece of 1/2-inch black pipe that was long enough to extend out to the original 10 inches that was on each side, and I just slid the whole pipe through there. Went right through the back part of the big dummy frame, where there's already a hole. That hole was already in the big dummy frame for wide loaders, and I had the pipe sticking all the way through, one solid piece of pipe. Did that on the back and the front. Then I had cut my piece of plywood 10 inches wide. I put it on top, got my measurement of 30 inches, cut it back to 30 inches. So now I had a piece that was I had two pieces that were 10 inches by 30 inches, and I just rounded the corners. And then what I did was I set the piece of wood on top, got it evenly spaced, used a clamp to clamp it here and clamp it on the front pipe, and then I very slowly drilled a hole through the wood, onto the pipe, through the pipe, secured it with a bolt, went to the front, slowly drilled a hole through there, trying not to make sure the wood did not move either way. Once I got those two bolts secure, I kept the clamp on there. Then I drilled another hole, nut and bolt, another hole up there, nut and bolt, and then there used to be, like I said, there used to be a third one. And then when I got done, I took one side, I had done both sides, I took one side back off, slid the thing out, and then I cut the pipe in half so that I could remove them, because if you got them bolted on there on a solid pipe, you're never going to be able to remove them. I wanted to be able to remove mine, so I just took one side back off, pulled it out in length, measured, made a mark, and cut the pipe in half. Now the pins, this little pin, the reason I used the shelf bracket and the Velcro is because the pin, that was another thing. You have to line this up and drill a hole through the black pipe for the pin. But once it was in there and everything was set, I just drilled a hole for my pin. Now the pin just slides in there, and then the Velcro comes up and it goes through the little hole that's already there, and I just pull it tight and I fasten it down. And I take this and wrap it past the pin and back up onto itself where it sticks. That way the pin is secure in there. It cannot fall out. It can't vibrate out. It has to be physically removed with your hand. Did the same thing for all of them. So I hope this answers your question. I hope I gave you enough information to build your own. It's not difficult. It just takes a little patience. So I hope that helps you out. And this is the Cargo Bite Cowboy. I'm signing out. Y'all have a great day.